What's up you absolute madheads? Today I am going to be showing you how to add some special sauce to your extra saucy bass lines. So then, grab a drink, grab a snack, hold on to your fedoras, because today we are going to make some bare proper madness basses fam. As always, the FLP from this video is available for free in the description. Before today's video starts, I want to mention a couple of cool things. First of all, I am holding a remix contest for my track, Getaway. The link to this will be in the description of the video. The top 5 remixes will be showcased on my channel, and the top remix will be featured on the official remix EP. Secondly, I want to announce that my track Sabotage will be making its way onto all major streaming services within the next week. So please follow my Spotify to stay tuned as to when it drops. With all that done, let's get on with the naughtiness of some bassline. Of course, today's tutorial is going to be based around Serum, which is of course the best synth to get naughty with. There's nothing better than getting up in the morning and modulating a few cheeky oscillators with an LFO. If you don't like the price of Serum, then I recommend Splice's rent-to-own plan. The way I make a lot of my basses is very similar. I use FM to modulate one oscillator by the other. This is the first step to achieving ultimate catness in your tunes mate. I then use an LFO on the volume to give some mega fat wubs. I also use the same LFO on the cutoff knob on the filter section. I turn the resonance up on the filter too to make it sound extra noise.
Nice.
You can also mess around with things like the fatness and drive, and also putting the LFO on random knobs. Now that we've covered the basics of bass sound design, it's time to show you a few things that can take your basses to the next level. This is the secret sauce to make you the next big bassline producer. These effects can turn your bass from this into this. First up, we will cover the effects I used inside of Serum to make this bass sound. I used some dimension to add width to the sound. I saw this trick where you turn the size down to 1% and then adjust the mix. This is what I used here. The next effect I used was some good old mega fat distortion. The added harmonics in the bass sound are exactly what you need to get a room full of sweaty madheads shouting about your new wobblers. I used a diode distortion on this sound, with a fairly low mix just to push the sound a bit. Next up, I added an EQ to take out some of the high end. Of course, this part totally depends on what sound you have. The filter section I added after is mighty important. This is the part that takes your bass from level 1 crook to level 50 mafia boss, because that's how Serum works. The Combs filter or the reverb filters are my favorite. Having a fairly low cutoff, but quite a high resonance can make your bass sounds absolutely mind-boggling. Finally, I added in some multiband compression. Turning on the multiband in the Serum compressor can completely change the character of the sound, so I encourage you to mess around with it. Now that we've covered the effects inside of Serum, we shall boogie on over to the mixer and see what the John is going on over there. First of all, we have the Serum FX plugin on. We have some tube distortion, some EQ, some compression, and some reverb. The main thing here is the distortion. This helps to add more character to the sound, and helps us get towards the kind of bass that makes you want to just yeet the Leaning Tower of Pisa at Philip Schofield. Next up, we have an EQ that is just cutting out an annoying frequency. We then have a low pass filter, but this is automated and is used during build-ups in the track. I used Maximus after to do some EQ by slightly boosting the mids and lows, but made the low end into mono. The limiter after this is used for sidechain compression. This is sidechained to the kick, which helps to add bounce to the whole track, and makes the kick really cut through the mix. The EQ after this cuts out the low end from the bass in order to make room for the sub, and the EQ after that is just automated during the build up to create more impact in the drop. Don't forget that the FLP from today's video is available in the description. Also, don't forget about my track coming out on all major streaming services, and the remix contest. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed today's video and found it useful. If you did, please gently touch the like button until the color changes. Also, please turn up your subwoofer so loud the mouse moves onto the subscribe button and click subscribe. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.